Well, everyone, I am currently de-stressing from again playing Nitro Fueled, where I've beat Oxide for the first time. I only have 3 of the gem cups left and 10 relics to go before I can beat him. But if you're wondering if I'm going to do a Let's Play of Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, it's only the first time I played the game, and honestly, once I've completed the first file, I'm not going to torture myself to go through it again. I actually have another game I have in mind, but I need to set everything up after this week, because one of the clubs that I'm in I need to bring my PS4 there for club to play Gem Force. Anyways, tonight we are actually going to be looking at a Spike episode, but fortunately it is one of the better Spike episodes, and that episode is Gauntlet of Fire. So let's get right into it. So this episode starts out with Rarity and Spike collecting gems in the cave, as we can also see that Rarity has a bow behind her helmet. But during the trip, it seems that Spike begins to glow for unexplained reasons and causes them to leave the cave. Why exactly is Spike glowing? Well, we find out once Twilight is having tea with Luna and Celestia. While that's happening, Rarity barges in and shows Spike.
Little is known about dragon culture, but this is a phenomenon we've seen before.
Something the season premiere should have known about. But yes, Celestia and Luna basically explains what's wrong with Spike.
The Dragon Lord. Dragons glow whenever the Dragon Lord has need of them in the Dragonland.
Right. How do I make it stop?
The only way to end the summons is to answer. You must journey to the Dragonland and see what is expected of you.
But the Dragonland, the fuck? Dragon!
And yet you, Rainbow Dash, and Twilight managed to try to fight off 3 of them, but then again, you basically pulled up Monty Python's Holy Grail and just ran away.
And this ghastly creature. Oh, not you, Mikey. But remember that rotten gargoyle? Yeah, he would burn us to a crisp if you weren't there.
He didn't really. Again, you guys ran away. Even though we've had Rarity, who could have basically ripped him in half, Twilight, who is superior in magic, and Rainbow Dash, who could easily handle an army of changelings without any problem. All the way back in Season 2.
If I had to go to the Dragonland, would you 2 come with me? I want to. We are sadly lacking any information on dragon culture.
You think?
I can see there's some maybe even write an article. It's giving my chance to make a great contribution to the knowledge of Equestria.
Aren't you the Princess of Friendship? Aren't you already contributing to Equestria?
And be there for a fight, of course.
Be very careful. The Dragonlands are particularly dangerous for ponies. It would be wise to be discreet.
I'm pretty sure that Twilight basically faced off against, let's recap, a changeling who basically took over your country and kicked your ass, Celestia, a king who almost enslaved an entire city. Okay, that wasn't really her, but she managed to fight off a powerful centaur who basically absorbed all the magic in the entire land and came out on top, and stopped the pony to come to her side after almost causing the space-time continuum to have an aneurysm. I'm pretty sure the Dragonlands are going to be child's play compared to what Twilight has seen. So basically they go with the plan as Rarity and Spike hide, well, not Spike, Rarity and Twilight hide in the rock. How exactly the dragons do not see through the rocks that have eye holes in them, I have no idea. No, I'm assuming how they got there. Obviously Twilight can fly, and I'm assuming she used her magic to carry Rarity. That's basically my only reason to how they got there. Here. So basically, once they get to the Dragonlands, guess who the hell shows up? They talk about Garble and take a wild guess who arrives.
Spike.
Are you sure your pony friends didn't give you a pony name?
It's nice to see you too, Garble.
I didn't say it was nice to see you. It's not. I don't like you.
Well, nobody in the fandom likes you either, jackass.
Was I not clear about that?
Say, that's my rock.
Oh, really? Then why aren't you sitting on it?
It's pretty much about everybody in the fandom right about now. But, thankfully, it's mercifully short as the Dragon Lord actually shows up. And he is the Dragon Lord for a reason, because he's really freaking big.
I have been Dragon Lord for longer than many of you can remember.
Can you give us an exact year? Well, I gotta admit, heck, they really made the Dragon Lord to be admittedly very intimidating and basically fitting in design for a ruler of the dragons. So, good job there, writers.
And my reign has been extraordinary.
Who is that?
Dragon Lord Torch, dummy.
No, next to him.
That's his daughter, Princess Ember. I wouldn't even look at her if I were you, unless you want Torch to eat you.
You. No. I'm assuming he's only said that because Garble has tried to hit on Ember. That's the only reason he's in Garble saying that.
It's fascinating. Dragons are notoriously restless, but they do whatever the Dragon Lord says.
Yes. I'm fully amazed that the one-dimensional bullies are so stupid and to not question, why do I hear a rock talking? Well, then again, they're one-dimensional bullies, aka, which equals to them being idiots.
Unfortunately, according to Dragon law, it is time for me to step down. Sir,
For somebody who has to step down, he still feels like he's in charge.
This is why I have summoned you, to compete for the throne in the Gauntlet of Fire!
Title drop. So yes. So basically, before we get into it, basically the Gauntlet of Fire is basically a competition to determine who will be the ruler of all the dragons. Basically a trial of endurance that only dragons can take. No matter what age, regrettably.
Whoever has the strength and fortitude to retrieve this bloodstone scepter from the heart of the flame chaos will be crowned Lord of the Dragons.
Keep in mind, he managed to throw that scepter with just a flick into the volcano. And of course, the seismic wave causes the flames to leave, and Spike tries to leave, but the Dragon Lord calls him out.
Oh, hi, Lordship. I was just going home.
You don't get to leave unless I say you can.
Dad, look at him. He's just a worm. Besides, he doesn't even want to compete. Let him go.
He is rather tiny. I could squish him with my pinky claws. That wasn't a joke, it's a fact.
I'll give him this. He is blunt.
When I want you to laugh, I will say, be amused.
Of course, Your Lordship. I guess I don't understand dragon customs. Another reason why I shouldn't compete.
Very well, little dragon. I release you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And it's amazing how what Garble told Spike hasn't even applied to him yet. But as you can plainly see, Ember actually was at least looking out for Spike for a little bit. Yeah, obviously because of the plainly obvious, but you can tell that Ember falls into the category of the strong, independent woman. And speaking of which, she tries to explain to her father why she should compete.
But most of these boulders have been you know.
Big smart work helped you win this performance. It was designed for a big, strong dragon to win.
Brains also are kind of needed for. There's a difference between strength and being an idiot. Okay? Because I'm pretty sure when it comes to any kind of sport, challenge, or anything like that, there's also a layer of strategy to it. And I'm pretty sure that because, as in Ember's words, most of the dragons are boulder heads, they probably don't have a clear-cut strategy of even getting to the scepter. It doesn't matter how strong or endurance they are, if they just charge straight in, it could potentially get you killed.
Because it takes a big, strong dragon to lead.
No, it doesn't. It honestly doesn't.
Besides, I should know.
I hate when he does that.
And yet, also aside from Ember, there's also a couple of other female dragons. Kind of makes you wonder why the Dragon Lord isn't scolding them.
When I become Dragon Lord, I will make Bert an official race.
You, please. When I win, I will pillage Equestria for all their pillows. Why should these ponies be comfortable while we sleep on rocks?
They do kind of make a good point. Considering that the dragons constantly have to sleep on rocks, it actually isn't that bad.
That's nothing. When I'm in charge, the first thing I'll do is get revenge on those puny ponies. Don't let the ever cross Garble.
Hey, boy, I thought it was a girl. Please kill him. Seriously, he won't be missed.
So you heard that right. Basically, if Garble wins, he is going to declare war on Equestria. Just because they mocked him. I'm pretty sure that Twilight can pretty much kick his ass and pretty much get the entire army of ponies to annihilate them. Doesn't matter if the ponies are scared of dragons, combining the forces of Canterlot and the Crystal Empire, Garble will get his ass annihilated.
We'll take whatever we want from Equestria and burn the rest.
Gosh, what can't believe I said this, but I hope that first dragon wins. None of them can win. Equestria's in big trouble if any of them are in charge.
I think the one who said they could take the pillows isn't really all that bad.
But what can we do? There's only one thing to do, and only I.
And because of that, Spike decides that he has no choice but to enter, mostly because Garble is probably the biggest legitimate threat out of all the dragons.
What if they win? Somehow, I have to be another way. It's too dangerous. Besides, if you win, you have to sit here.
It's either that, or Garble declares war on you all, but you most likely kick his ass, but still, a threat is a threat.
I know. There's no other way to keep my friends safe. Well, if you're saying to compete, then we're saying to cheer you on.
Yeah, that's probably one of the few things about this episode, since it's only like a Spike-focused episode. For the most part, Rarity and Twilight are just kind of there. They basically cheer from the sidelines, and they honestly don't really do much. As we can also see that the dragons also get some nifty armor to help them fly, and Garble beats a jackass at the start of the race and lets Spike fall.
Thanks, Garble. I was planning on swimming anyway. You can do it, Spike!
Yeah, like I said, basically because Twilight and Rarity are just cheering for him, throughout most of the episode, they're just kind of there. I mean, yeah, it's obvious not to create suspicion, but I wish they could do a little bit more. But we can plainly see that the Gauntlet of Fire is not as easy as it sounds, as we can see some eel-like creature shooting water from the ocean below. So as Spike is swimming across, which makes you wonder why exactly none of the eels tried to go after him, he rescues a masked dragon safely to shore. Spoilers, it's Ember. I mean, they even say it right off the bat. And to be fair, they don't keep it a mystery throughout the entire episode. They just basically go through it with like the first 2 or 3 minutes of the whole thing.
Does that make you just hot?
Oh, and thankfully, since Ember isn't like most dragons where they are not an idiot, she actively raises the question of why exactly is that pile of seaweed talking and has eyeballs?
Tony, what are they doing here? They're like friends. Friends? Dragons don't do friends. Well, this dragon does. Whatever. I don't care as much. None of you get me. I have a gauntlet too. But I thought your dad said I don't care what my dad said. I'll show you. And every dragon thinks I'm just a little princess. There are better things than being big and strong.
I'll give Ember this. Like I said, she does fall into the category of basically, of these strong, independent women. And at least she is a proactive princess, kind of like Princess Sally from Sonic the Hedgehog Sat AM, where basically she actually does proactive things and isn't just having the princess title just to be cute about it. And yet, despite the bullying, Spike actually goes to help him. Well, so of course, Garble, being an idiot, falls for Spike's lie, and Spike explains why he covered for Ember.
I could ask you the same thing. You could have told Garble about my friend. Yes, that was wrong. But that's what makes it a challenge. Are you kidding? Those boulders are huge. Hey, what if we work together? You fly up there, and I'll have to look at the boulders, like a second set of eyes. Fine. Sure. I can't see over there first.
And I'm surprised Ember is not saying, how exactly did you get inside that tree and It actually kind of makes you wonder, how exactly did they carve out those eye holes? I mean, yeah, I can assume magic, but...
You don't know her too well. I do know she could have told Garble about you, but she didn't. I think we can trust her. Her behavior does seem contradictory to everything I've known about dragons so far. Hey, you, little fella! I've thought about it, and the plan makes sense. Let's do it.
So Garble and Ember work together as Spike manages to guide Ember past all the rocks, and they manage to avoid most of them as they catch up to Garble, and they come across the next challenge.
Scary. I mean, you can do it. Listen, I wouldn't have made it this far without you. So I guess if you want to, we could keep working together. I mean, just until I get through that tunnel. Okay. I'll be right behind you.
Because that's all you can do for the most part. So they go inside the cave where they basically discover large amounts of pillars that basically act as teeth that also act like that thing that comes out of the hole in The Empire Strikes Back. And apparently the dragons are clinging onto the rocks instead of getting crushed by them. So of course, Earth, Ember, and Spike maneuver through them, and also comes across Crystal Spike. I think that's also another good thing about this episode. It's just watching Garble go through pain. It just brings so much amount of joy to him. I could honestly replay that scene forever, but we're like 7 minutes away from the ending. Screw it. Let's just rewind it so we can just see it again. Okay, one more time. Joy. So they basically get to the lava pits, which of course, being dragons, obviously won't affect them. And again, it kind of makes you wonder how quickly they can get out of those costumes really quickly. And where exactly Rarity found the materials to even make said costumes. As Himiko would say, it's magic. You don't need to explain it.
Nothing? You just risked everything to save her. And they're putting themselves in danger just to support you. That's just what friends do. Don't you have anyone who looks out for you?
I'm pretty sure Ember said before that dragons don't do friendship. But yeah, as you can plainly see, Ember spending time with Spike, she's starting to feel the magic of friendship.
Not really. Unless I count you. Which I don't. Because we were only helping each other get through the tunnel. And now we're through the tunnel. So, that's it. Wait, what do you mean? Well, there's only one winner, one scepter, and one dragon. So, I guess it's every dragon for themselves. Oh, so we aren't really friends? Maybe if we were totally but like I said, dragons don't do friendship.
Ouch. Yeah, that's gotta leave a mark, and obviously Spike is a little bit bitter about that, since honestly it kind of showed that, as I said, the fact that Ember was learning friendship with Spike was starting to rub off on her.
She's not though, I know it. She says so much she didn't have to. I don't care what she says. That makes it. Is it just me, or have we seen this kind of 3 times already?
So, it seems that the next part of the maze was, for the most part, mostly a cave. Spike manages to find the scepter, and guess who the hell shows up?
And I'm not moving to a puny, pony-loving dragon like you.
So thankfully, before Garble actually tries to go through what he did with Dragon Quest and try to murder Spike, Ember actually comes in to save the day. I'm sure that's what most people who are emotional are. But yay! The magic of friendship has rubbed off on Ember. Yay! Twilight, you are an alicorn that fought off Kira. You can easily kick his ass.
Mike, get the scepter!
Spike finally stands up for himself and tries to hold off Garble.
Sick and tired of you two helping each other. Dragons don't do helping.
Do you ever stop talking? These dragons do.
So Ember helps Spike get back up as he manages to grab the scepter in time and basically wins the whole competition.
Leave her alone!
What? You have a scepter? But that means that you're...
The Dragon Lord. Dragon Lord
Dragon Lord Spike.
And as my first order of Dragon Lord, I banish you from the Dragonlands and never to return again. That is what he should have said, but no.
Now go start the long journey home. And give every dragon you see on the way a hug. Don't tell them why.
Aw, that'll be super embarrassing.
Well, it's either that or you get banished from Equestria for all of eternity. I vote that option.
I command you to do it.
I love how the dragon gets a hug. He's like, yay! It's like he feels so gushy. It's like seeing a dragon smile. It feels so gushy inside.
Dragon.
But basically, Spike then decides to basically pass on the scepter and all the powers Dragon Lord to Ember.
Well, you'll have at least one friend here, too. What are you doing? It's called a hug. Oh, I don't know if I like it, but okay.
And thus a ship between dragons was born. Yay! So when Ember returns to the Dragon Lord saying she got the scepter, he's not too pleased about it.
Ember, you!
I know you didn't think I could do it, but I did.
I expressly told you not to do it, because you're not...
I'm not big and strong. I know. You know what? I won anyway. So maybe it takes more than just being big and strong to be a good Dragon Lord.
I was wrong, Ember. You might not be big. You are strong and smart, and perhaps that counts for more than I thought. And you will make excellent leader.
Thanks, Dad. Agree with him! Just kidding. That's not gonna be my thing.
Dragons, hear me! I present to you our new Dragon Lord, Ember!
Our basically strong, independent woman.
You did well, Spike. With Ember as Dragon Lord, the ponies will be safe, and you made us a powerful ally. And a new friend. Plus, Ember said I could write to her anytime I had questions about dragon culture. With this much information, I'll be able to write a whole book on dragons. And I will use tons of ideas for a new line of camouflage clothing.
I'm assuming that a lot of the stuff that you managed to find for camouflage, you basically just picked up on the spot.
Camouflage.
And thus they left it off, heading back to Ponyville, and that's the end. And that was the Gauntlet of Fire. Needless to say, it's an awesome episode. Obviously, what I like about this episode is the large amounts of world building for the Dragonland. I mean, yeah, Garble being there was a bit of a kick in the pants and was kind of annoying at times, but for the most part, most of the episode was focused on Spike. And for once, he actually was not annoying. He was focused on the objective, he understood the risk, and he managed to gain an ally in Ember, who is also a pretty awesome character to enjoy. She's strong and independent, and even though she does seem rough around the edges, she is actually a compassionate and caring leader. So, all in all, this was just really an awesome episode to enjoy, with the animation, the world building, Spike showing growth as a character and passing his knowledge on to another amazing character. It was just an all-around fun, action-packed adventure episode, and I loved it. I guess my only complaints I can really think about the episode is the fact that Twilight is afraid of the dragons, even though she took down like larger threats than the dragons themselves, and of course Garble still being the one-dimensional bully that he is. But aside from that, it's still an enjoyable episode, and I love it. So overall, I believe the Gauntlet of Fire gets an A-, or rather just Gauntlet of Fire. So anyways, next time we are going to take a look at a Starlight-focused episode, which is No Second Prances. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye.